It's a joke. It's funny. It's sad. 6:08 up first this hour. The Halifax School Board's decision to no longer rent after-hours school gym times to 4 sports groups. Floor hockey, ringette, archery, and lacrosse teams are, well, no longer welcome to rent school gyms. The school board says it's because of the damage they caused, that it was simply becoming too expensive to repair. The teams involved are now scrambling to find new locations to practice and play, but with a lack of gymnasiums outside of school gyms in this city, it's easier said than done. Sport Nova Scotia's Executive Director Jamie Ferguson joins us on the phone this evening with some thoughts. Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Rick. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you doing?
I'm just great, thanks.
Now, you're at the wilds of Cape Breton right now, or on your way there, or something like that?
I am on my way there right now. Yes, I am.
All right. I hope you pulled over and you're talking to us.
Absolutely.
Okay, good man. And now, Jamie, we talked to Doug Hadley in our Nova Scotia hour, the first hour this afternoon, between 3 and 4. Doug Hadley, the spokesperson for the Halifax Regional School Board, he indicated that there's some discussions going on involving you and the board about perhaps rectifying the situation somehow. What can you tell us about these negotiations or talks, or however you might want to describe them?
Yeah, we've actually had a couple of opportunities to contact the school board over the last couple of days, and in fact, we have a meeting set up, I believe, for Monday. And we're pretty hopeful, based on our conversation so far, that we're going to be able to have a positive resolution for this situation.
Now, did this come out of the blue? I mean, were you surprised by this at all, and your reaction when you heard the news?
We were obviously concerned. We didn't have any idea it was going to happen. Now, having said that, we don't get regular communication from the school board for lots of things, so that's not a huge surprise. But we're obviously concerned anytime we have facility issues. There's in Nova Scotia and Halifax across Canada, there's an issue with access to sport and recreation facilities. In fact, there's an issue with having enough of them, and so anytime we have the potential to lose them, that's a big concern for us.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of gyms available outside of school gymnasiums, perhaps even fewer than, only 2 or 3 come to mind. Yeah,
there aren't a lot of them, and the other thing that's important in terms of the access to school gyms is that by their very nature, schools are located in all of our communities, not just within the region of municipality in Halifax, but also all across the province. So they also help cut down on other barriers to participation, like transportation, getting to and from, those types of things.
Now, when Doug Hadley asked him about what kind of damage floor hockey does, for example, and he says some floor hockey practices or games in school gyms, they're actually using a puck. And I can understand why the school board might be concerned about that, but why not just go to the people and say, all right, if you're going to play floor hockey in our gym, you're going to have to use balls and plastic-bladed sticks, as opposed to, as one emailer tells me here, they're punishing everyone because of a few.
Well, I think that's exactly what we're looking to make happen. I think by us being able to get to the table with the school board, we're going to be able to have a conversation so that we've got good education on both sides about what types of equipment, what types of activities should take place, and, maybe even move this whole thing a step forward and a little bit beyond just this one incident to make sure that there's a really good understanding about what types of access and programs are permissible, and for the schools on their side have an understanding, too, of what types of equipment these certain groups are using. And then in addition to that, we obviously have to make sure that there's a mechanism in place to deal with those groups, whoever they may be, who don't want to follow the rules, because it's in our best interest to make sure the facilities are maintained in their best conditions so we can continue to have access to them.
One emailer again that says, why not just have the leagues involved put up a bond?
I'm sorry, have the what?
Put up a bond, a bond of some sort, a bit of a deposit that would go toward perhaps the cost of any damages that might result.
Yeah, I think in our particular instance, for increasing any types of fees for access to these organizations already would be a real issue. I think we'd be more concerned with making sure that they're using them properly to cut down on any incidences. And within those groups that are members of our provincial sport organizations, making sure that, any damages were repaired in a timely and consistent manner so that, if there is an accident, that the accident gets taken care of and so that the gym can remain open for use.
Well, and with all of the talk of overweight kids and getting our kids off the couch and into, fitness activities and such, it just seems to be in my mind anyway, a short-sighted decision. You've said you've talked to the school board, Jamie, and you've set up this meeting. Do you get the sense that they're open to perhaps, rearranging the decision, going back on that decision somehow?
I think they absolutely are, and I think that for our side, we're happy to get to the table and say we're prepared to do more work on our end as well within our groups and within our organizations to make sure that both sides are having their needs met. And as I said before, there's better education about what's allowable, what's acceptable, and there's also mechanisms in place to deal with those groups who are members of ours who aren't prepared to abide by the rules. So I feel quite hopeful that we're going to have a positive resolution and potentially even have a better relationship coming out of this, which could lead to more effective access for our groups in those facilities. Yeah,
that's obviously something that our kids need. And as you pointed out, I think on CTV last night, if the kids aren't in the gyms, in after-school hours, some of them could be out in the streets and getting into a bit of trouble. So that's another reason to keep these gyms open and accessible.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we have all kinds of studies that tell us that not only are children who take part in sport more likely to be healthy, which is fairly well known, but in addition to that, they're also less likely to get in trouble with the law, and in fact, they're more likely to do well in school. So there's just so many benefits that we can't ignore how important it is to create more opportunities for children to take part.
All right, that meeting you said was coming up Monday, was it?
Yes, I believe it's Monday, yeah.
All right, Jamie, thank you for taking some time to explain this to us, and have a safe drive, and good luck on Monday, sir.
I will. Thanks a lot, Rick. And you can tell Cecil that it's a big night at my house at home in Halifax tonight. My son's a big Red Sox fan.
What about you? Are you cheering for them or against them?
I'm afraid I'm a Dodgers fan, so I have a hard time cheering for any of them.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Rick. Take care.
Bye-bye. That's Nova Scotia CEO Jamie Ferguson. And let's hope that the school board, I don't want to say comes to its senses, because I understand that there's damage that's being done to these gyms. And it's costing the school board money, and money that they say could be better spent on, things like the classroom and such. So let's hope that this can be worked out, and that these various teams, again, floor hockey, ringette, archery, and lacrosse, can get back into the gyms and enjoy their pastimes. 6:15.